Welcome to CineMyles, the show for cinephiles. I'm your host, Miles Hughes, and I'm joined once again by Miss Becca Wucker. And we just saw John Wick Chapter 2, the second film in the John Wick franchise, which stars Keanu Reeves as John Wick. Before we get into this film, what are your thoughts on the original John Wick?
The original John Wick is maybe my favorite action movie. It's kind of perfect. The writing was just superb, but in a way that it was very aware of itself. Like, this is an action movie. Let's not think too hard about it.
Yeah.
Like, the writers, I like to think the writers were very aware of, like, we could use some nuanced language here, but let's just not. It's John Wick. Oh.
Yeah, it's very pulpy, it's very self-aware. I agree. I think the first John Wick is one of the best action films ever made, certainly within the last decade. I think Keanu Reeves is kind of the perfect person for it, because he's got this enigmatic presence where you feel like he could be this incredibly powerful sort of hitman character, and you can tell he's doing almost all of his own stunts. Like a less charismatic Tom Cruise in a way, where it's like, he's Keanu Reeves, like there's no character work there, but at the same time, he kind of plays on his existing persona, like you think of all the other movies you've seen him in, and I would think it's fair to say he was born to play this character.
There was a really cute puppy in the first one. There is a really cute dog in this one.
I will spoil this, and I'm not usually about spoilers. The dog does not die in this one.
Thank God! I was so sure.
I was expecting it.
He's got warm little eyes.
Oh,
the friendliest soul you'll ever meet on screen.
Ruby Rose, who is in the film, playing a character that maybe would have been interesting.
Had her fight scene lasted more than 5 seconds, what?
And been, among the last 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah. She did a really good job looking nice and doing really, sexy ASL, but, I mean, they built her up to be a big assassin, and then her fight scene's pretty short. So that's the big downfall. If you're gonna have a deaf female assassin in a movie, at least make her fight scene, the only fight scene she gets in the movie, be really kick-ass. So
I would say that, and there's an opening car chase, which is a little shaky cammy and hard to see. Besides that, this new film is golden. It's not, it doesn't quite hit the peak of the original film, which I think was just sort of more of a surprise and kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. Keanu at his best. You get an extended cameo from Lawrence Fishburne, so a nice little mini Matrix reunion, which is just...
What a great role for him, too.
Oh my gosh.
Perfectly cast.
Yeah.
I think.
No, he's great. He chomps through the scenery like warm butter. And then you've got, obviously returning from the first film, Ian McShane, John Leguizamo, all the fun character actors that populate this surprisingly intricate world. Like, it's not generic action movie hitmen. There's this thing with this hotel where people are not allowed to kill each other on the grounds, and there's this interconnected network that you see...
They did a better job expanding on that in this movie, and I feel like this movie captured the feeling that I had leaving the original John Wick. I kind of spent the first, 30 minutes in the movie wondering if the opening was going to come back in another way. It seemed too long for the grand purpose of the movie.
Yeah, from a plot standpoint, the first 20 to 30 minutes, feel like an extended epilogue to the last movie.
They even use scenes from the first one to be like, hey, remember this?
It is economical, sort of catch you up on the character stuff.
It is.
Like, for somebody who's never seen the first one, you do pretty much get all the information you could possibly need up front, which I appreciate. I really appreciate the way the action is shot in these films. It's directed by Chad Stahelski and produced by David Leitch, and they are stuntmen. Chad was actually Keanu's stunt double on the Matrix films.
That's awesome.
And they've worked on, some of the biggest action blockbusters in all of Hollywood history. They're industry veterans. There's a reverence for the way the action is shot. It's all these long shots. You don't miss any of the choreography. They don't get all up in the actor's armpits or whatever to sort of, fake generate intensity. The intensity is right there in the scene. The choreography is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It borders on dance at times.
Well, and I like that he has a specific style when he fights. He does specific moves often, but in a way that's effective. His favorite move, apparently,
I think I'm thinking of the same one.
Grabbing a person, putting them in some sort of headlock, leg lock, any sort of lock where they can't move, using their gun to shoot other people and then shooting them.
Yeah, he does that. There's one sequence near the end where he does that exact move like 5 times in a row.
And
it's
they
fantastic.
don't see it coming.
And it never gets old, like when you're watching it.
It just becomes his like signature move. In this movie, he suffers at certain points from a lack of ammunition, so it's like his perfect way of gaining more ammunition.
Exactly. Well, he doesn't need to like go into the scene with guns. Like he can use all the guns of the people there and like have an endless supply. It's great because he's efficient with his shots, and there's something very tactical about the way he goes about clearing a room. It's not just, like a Schwarzenegger movie or something where they just wander around with a machine gun with limitless ammo and just shoot.
And you can see him getting shot, which I love. Like, you see John Wick get hurt multiple times. Granted, in the bigger, like, longer running ones where he's more equipped, he's, like, getting shot, and that probably hurts a lot more than he's letting on. But in the later ones, when he gets shot in the abdomen...
And he's, like, bleeding all over the place.
They do a good job in this movie of making an action hero actually seem hurt by the action that's happening. Because I feel like... Sometimes you watch other movies like, I don't know, Fast and the Furious or something. Other action movies really show their heroes being almost indestructible in a way that's so not believable. There was one beautiful tense moment where he went to reload his gun, and it took long enough that I feel like the whole room just like was like, is he gonna get it? Because he's got to reload his gun.
It's just so intelligently made. And yes, it is kind of schlocky and kind of pulpy, and you are just there to watch Keanu Reeves headshot 50 million people, and it's great, but that is kind of all there is to it.
Yeah.
But they turn it into an art form.
Don't sit in the front row, because it's hard to watch that first scene in the front row. But again, I will say, other than the first scene, the fact that we were sitting in the front row and it still was not difficult to view any of the other action sequences is very impressive. Definitely partake in John Wick 2, because I think it captures a lot of the same feeling that the first one brought.
I agree. I wholeheartedly recommend this film. It is a delight, and any action fans of any kind are going to find so much to love about it.
So much.
Thank you for watching CineMyles. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things. Thank you for joining me, Becca.
Of course.
And we will catch you all on the flip side. Have a good night.
Peace.